Celebrate my mom's life. It is very heartwarming and comforting, and I thank you all for being here. My mom was great. She was the best mom ever. I'm sorry, a little addendum I had to put in there. My mom was great. Where was it? Oh, man. Hold on, can you hold this? Oh, right, here I am. My mom was great. She was great. She was alive and vibrant with color. She wore bright reds, blues, greens, purples. She wore patterns. She loved big flowers, and we're wearing them. And she loved animal prints. She wrote delightful children's books and told me bedtime stories that she made up. I remember a story about a tiger in the jungle that found these delicious long bean sweet-filled things that you would break them open and there was a sweet liquid inside, and she called them mumble nips. I always wanted to try them. She loved life and living and fun. She was my, thank you, I got it. She was my cheerleader, she was my confidant, and she was my friend. She always did her best to love me, to guide me, and to support me. I always knew if I felt down, I could call her and she would say something to smooth out my emotions or help me feel as if everything would work out and somehow be okay. When I ended a 5-year relationship with a boyfriend, I was completely devastated. I called her every day for a long time, crying and distraught. She was always loving and caring. Helped me to get unstuck and move forward with my life. She helped me to get unstuck and move forward with my life. She was never impatient. That meant so much to me. My mother loved to get dressed up and to go to parties and to dance, as you all know. She had many dance partners and boyfriends over the years. She also had many proposals, which she bragged about, and she refused them all. She enjoyed herself. She loved to laugh, to tell jokes, and to have fun, and as was said before, her laugh was infectious. She told me that if I go to a party, that I should always work the room or go around and talk to each person. That's exactly what she did, and people remembered her. I invited my mom to all my parties and barbecues at my house whenever I had friends over. If she wasn't able to go, my friends would always ask me in an annoying tone of voice, "Where's your mother?" I would have to hang my head and say, "She couldn't make it." Maybe they liked her a little better than me. My mom would come to the salon every Thursday for her hair. Her ride would often bring her early, so she would sit down and engage whoever was near her. I would be busy working on a client's hair, and I would turn and look over and check on her. Of course, I was always a little worried, is she okay? And she would always usually be in an animated conversation with the person next to her. One of her favorite conversation starters was that she was single and looking for a boyfriend. She would ask, "Do you know anyone who's 75 and drives at night?" It would continue there with lots of laughter and giggles. I think she was serious, though, about that, because her boyfriend at the time was no longer in the picture. My mother loved people, and she loved family. She volunteered and led a class, either it was at Freedom or Plumber Park, to help Russian women to speak and understand how to have a conversation. These women just loved her and enjoyed her. She did always want to help others. She treasured her children and she adored her grandchildren. Her home was filled with pictures everywhere you looked of family. I am grateful for the relationship my mom had with my daughters. I never had grandparents growing up because they were all gone by the time I was able to appreciate them. But my daughters were so close to my mother. They would sit and talk and laugh for an hour effortlessly. That is something you cannot buy. When my daughters were born, she told me she would come and spend every Thursday with them. And she did, all the way through 10th grade, until it became too much for her to pick them up at school. She became a little nervous about driving them and their friends in the car. I was so lucky. We were so lucky. My mom did not like being old. She struggled with her aging body. She wanted to drive and to dance and to be independent. Oops, did I forget something? Oh, that's not the right one. Oh yeah, it is, sorry. She wanted to drive and to dance and to be independent. She fought it, but we moved her into an assisted living place. She was only there for 4 months, but everybody there loved her. The manager told me constantly how my mom brought so much life to that place. Always friendly, always social, and she made the best of it. They even started a joke-telling hour just for her. My mom was one of the sweetest and most kind-hearted people I know. Her legacy of love, joyfulness, and playfulness and friendship is what I hope to live up to. She will be greatly missed.
Thank you very